everyone, welcome back to the Draw Pod. It's me, your host, Elyse, and if you heard that little jingle, that little sound at the beginning, and you're impressed with it, well, I am too. My good friend Grace made it for me, and I will be linking all of her information in the description box. She is an amazing musician, singer, songwriter, person, overall an amazing creator, so please go check her out, follow her, give her some love. And so thank you again for that. Now I just need a microphone to make this sound professional and good. I'm working on it, and Grace actually gave me some great podcast mic recommendations, so I'm going to look into those and hopefully increase the production quality of this podcast. Anyway, if you're new here, the Draw Pod is a visual podcast, and but it doesn't really totally require you to watch the video. If you prefer to listen, you can just do that on any podcast listening platform, or if you prefer to watch the video, you can find it on my YouTube channel, which is always linked in the description of this podcast, or if you just look Elyse Andrews, Elyse Andrews on YouTube up, then you will be able to find that video. So in this episode, the theme of the drawing that I'm doing is another Madrid memories. I did one last week of the Parque del Oeste, which was a park that was near the school that I went to when I studied abroad in Madrid last summer. This trip was really, really important to me, and I am doing one this week inspired from my time in Malaga. So it's from a window that I saw in the Picasso Museum in Malaga, and also some bird of paradise trees that I saw also whenever we were walking around there. And it was definitely probably my favorite place that we visited outside of Madrid in Spain. So that's that little intro for you, so you kind of have an idea of what I'm drawing. But let's get into just talking about updates. What's been going on? Some new things I've learned. Anyway, job application update. I applied to something and I got interviews, and then I did not get it. But it was a good experience, and I'm glad I had the experience doing it. It wasn't a graphic design job, it was just another job that I would be working in retail, but just something to do part-time while I'm looking for other jobs. But I didn't get it, but that's okay. I'm still glad that I had those interview experiences. And also, I guess by the time it's posted, I will have had an interview somewhere else, but I do have an interview coming up this week with another place where I would be doing design work. So fingers crossed that goes well, and I'm pretty excited for it. Look at me go. Things are happening. So one thing that I learned this week, because I like to do on this podcast something that I learned each week, and it's that stretching makes me less stressed, and I need to do it more. Are you stressed? Of course you are. We're all stressed. You should stretch more. And basically what I do is just kind of I go through one kind of sun salutation vinyasa thing. It's not too long. It's just that you're up, you do downward dog, some warrior stuff. You can look it up on YouTube unless you already know how to do it. But I do a quick one of those, and then I will just kind of, how you in gym class, you sit on the floor and you put one leg out and then you reach and touch your toes. It's kind of like that. That is what I have been doing. And I've been doing that, and I also, kind of stretch out my back some, and I really just focus on just kind of, I feel like there's a lot of energy and kind of anxious energy built up in my body at times, and so stretching has been something really important for me to do every day, and I guess it's making me more flexible, so that's always fun. And I also go on hour-long walks every day, so I think I probably should have been stretching this whole time for those, but whatever. So that's what I've learned this week. Stretching is so important. So, what else is going on? I have written down here in my notes, job strategy for July. Basically what I'm planning on doing is focusing more on my, the portfolio part of my job application thing. I've received a lot of good feedback about my portfolio from people. It needs a lot of work. It was really cluttered, and so I really need to get to work on my portfolio. And I have been, as I have mentioned, but it still needs a lot of work. So I'm gonna I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to work on that and kind of come up with other portfolios for illustration and maybe more of communication, major focus jobs, ones that are less actually as visually creative as I am mostly looking for. So I'm going to do that and continue to apply to jobs as they come up. But, as I've said, I go up and down with these things, but I have been, sometimes I kind of feel down because, for all the graphic design jobs that pop up in Austin on LinkedIn, like within 2 or 3 days, they have like over 200 applicants. So I'm like, yikes, what am I going to do there? So anyway, I'm still going to keep looking around, still going to continue to network. I have a really great video coming out this week on this Tuesday after you're listening to this podcast on Saturday about networking. Wow, look at me. I'm a professional YouTuber making networking videos. I know. But this is kind of just what I've kind of discussed a little bit on here about my path to just having conversations with people and learning about their jobs and their careers. And that's been really fun and valuable for me. So I hope you enjoy the video and check it out and give it a like. But anyway, what else have I been doing? Oh, another note that I wrote down is that I hate that all podcasts come out on Monday. And that is very true because everyone uploads their podcasts on Monday and then I binge them throughout the week, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and then by like Saturday and Sunday, I don't even have my daily like news podcasts from like NPR, so anyway, stupid little thing that I'm annoyed about. But if you upload your podcasts on like Tuesdays even or Wednesdays, and there's one that I love that uploads on I think Saturdays, you guys rock. Thank you for spacing your content out. Another update is that all of my trips are canceled from the virus, and so now I am forever at home, is what I wrote. And I am, I wish that I could have gone to see my grandparents, but they're in Houston, and that's really not a good idea. And with all the increase in cases, but yeah, it'll be interesting because for a while, I was expecting, to go to my graduation in San Antonio, and that was canceled, and, see my grandparents and another thing. And so, but all of that is canceled now. So it's kind of interesting to look at it like there's just this kind of wide stretch of time ahead of me that I, have to look forward to and fill. But yeah, it's interesting. I know people have probably just been at home this entire time and totally get that. That's great. And also I do like staying at home and not traveling, but it has been proven to me that it's good to go on a little to do stuff and not just stay in your room all day for 12 hours, but also be safe. Anyway, enough with that little tangent. A super, super duper, really exciting update also is that I bought a Mac. I've been saving up for a while, not necessarily for a Mac, but just saving up to just have money available, and I've been living at home, and so I haven't had to worry about like grocery expenses like I normally do. So I've been really trying to put that money in savings and invest it. But I've been saving up for a while, and I bought a Mac, and I'm so excited about it, and it's coming in like a week, I think, which is really cool, and I'm pretty excited. It's like this video I think that or this podcast / video I'm recording now is going to be one of the last ones that I have to edit on my Surface Book. Listen, my Surface Book, I love you. You're amazing. You also only have like 8 gigs of RAM, and I don't know why I did that. That was really stupid of me. So I'm at my savings goal. I got my new computer. It's coming in, and it's going to make my life so much easier, and will hopefully make my content come together a lot easier. I don't know if it would actually improve the quality. I'm still going to be using the same edit software. But yeah, that's been a really exciting goal of mine that I have achieved, and I have to kind of figure out a good storage situation. Probably will use Dropbox or something. But anyway, now my plan financially is to just save, and hopefully pick up some more freelance jobs or just look for other jobs in the next few weeks and months. I just want to save. I want to have a good emergency fund. I want to have a nice stock of savings and just to feel more comfortable about what's happening moving forward, because I don't really know what my future plans are, but I would like to feel financially stable. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about it. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, I really like 2 Cents it's a PBS produced show, and it's actually made by a couple in Austin, which is really cool. And so if you're looking for good financial videos all the time that are pretty easy to digest and are interesting, then you should do that. Also, you should start investing now if you can, and take advantage of compound interest. That was my little financial tangent that I had. All of these are tangents. It's like, what's even the main point of my podcast? Anyway, that's another thing I'm trying to figure out, is kind of the branding for this podcast and what I want to talk about. Again, if you are interested in what I'm talking about now, let me know. If there's something you'd rather hear from me, let me know. Maybe I'll try to make it more design centered. I'm trying to read more about design and art news, so maybe I can provide some insights to that. I'm interested in that. Talk about art more, but in general, this is just kind of like my post-grad stresses and successes right now. So if you're interested in it, keep listening. That's what I'm up to. Anyway, another thing I have not been doing is picking my face. I don't know if I've touched on this on the podcast before, but for a while I was just really picking up my acne on my face a lot, and I've just kind of made the intentional decision and effort to not pick my face anymore. And I know it's like, how do you just decide one day you're not doing it? I mean, that's kind of how I do stuff, but I also the first few days were really hard for me. I picked up a rock when I went to the beach with my mom. I don't know if I talked about that on my last podcast, but I did get to go to the Texas Gulf Coast with my mom, and that was super fun. And we just kind of really just stayed in our beach house most of the time. We ventured out to the beach a little bit, but it was just kind of a relaxing little trip. But I went on several walks on the beach like every morning, and I picked up a little stone or a little like beach rock, and I brought it back with me, and it's just so nice to have. And I kind of rub it between my hands if I'm feeling stressed and like I have energy that I would normally put in to pick my face. So that helped me a lot. I tried doing some like band-aids on my face. I forget what they're called. They're not just band-aids though, and that kind of worked, but then I forgot that I have hair on my face like everyone does, and that hurt so bad to take off, but it kind of helped me stop reaching for my face because there's kind of something blocking it. So anyway, still working on that, but I'm really proud of my progress there. And I also have on here that I'd like to talk about my current book that I'm reading. It's really good. It's by Rebecca Solnit. I think I mentioned it last week on that podcast. It's called A Field Guide to Getting Lost, and I am really enjoying it. It's just kind of, it talks about sort of themes related to being lost and exploring and kind of abandonment, just any way you can kind of understand the word of like lost and getting lost. And she also talks a lot about wilderness in that as well. And so it's been very good. It's been hard for me to read in that most of the books that I read are nonfiction or like trade publications about I read the design book and I finished that recently. And that's just about design. So, I'm used to kind of skimming over things a little bit more. And it's just, I've had to kind of I have to take time to sit and read like every word. And every word is beautiful. So I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, it's definitely different for me. So, and after I finish this book, I think I might want to wrap up the Brand Thinking book by Debbie Millman. And then I'm also going to read Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, I think, which was also recommended to me by my art professor who teaches who taught my outdoor studio class. So she's very into the environment and art and stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been reading, and it's been very interesting. I like thinking about different ways of getting lost, especially she talks about like forest like rescues, or like at parks, like having like rangers like on like these rescue missions to try and find people who have gone missing. It's very, very interesting to me how all of that works. So yes, very good read. That's my little book note of the week. Let me think about, do I have anything else interesting going on? Like I said, I've got an interview coming up, and I hope it goes well, and I'm just going to keep on making my content. That's kind of my plan moving forward, is just keep, maybe investing in myself and making content and artwork and sharing it with the world, and that's been making me really happy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope I can find some more direction to it soon. Again, if you are someone who listens to these and enjoys them, just let me know what you think about it. But I do like being able to just kind of talk about random stuff, and if you're watching on YouTube, I really hope you enjoy watching these. I think in my next episode I'll probably talk more about my experience studying abroad in Madrid, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check that out next Saturday. So anyway, thank you so much again for listening. Please rate this podcast or like it on YouTube, or support it in any way you can on whatever platform you're listening to it on. As always, I'll have some links in the bio to things that to the description of things I've talked about. And again, be sure to check out Grace's music and her creations and everything. Again, big shout out. You're amazing. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.